Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm playing Legacy today at the request of Patreon subscriber Kurt, and this is Dark Maverick. Maverick is a green-white deck based around value creatures and protecting them and slowly squeezing your opponent out of the game. Knight of the Reliquary is the core creature. We get a bunch of techie lands in here. Knight of the Reliquary gets really big. Eventually it's just like a 7/7. You can start bashing with it. And then everything else is sort of there to solve a specific problem. It's a toolbox deck. You've got Greensun Zenith. You can even Greensun Zenith for Fiend Artisan. That can then start Greensun Zenithing for other things. And that's where you see a bunch of techie one-ofs. Collector Oof, Outland Liberator, Scrib Ranger, Wrist, Palace Jailer, Questing Beast, all here. Sometimes this has a light Stoneforge package, sometimes it doesn't. This one doesn't, because we're in the Black Splash, because like everyone else in the world right now, we're going Orcish Bowmasters. And believe it or not, based on what you may know about me, I actually like Maverick quite a bit. I registered it at Eternal Weekend, one of the online years when we were all in lockdown and there were 3 events in a row. One of them I fired in Dark Maverick. I thought the deck was well positioned at the time. And various versions of this list have been doing well now. Bowmaster, obviously a huge help. Being able to further punish the cantrip decks as a non-cantrip deck is really nice. This deck, you've got a couple X1s in here, but the deck doesn't really draw cards, and most of your important creatures are bigger than X1. You're pretty resilient naturally to enemy Bowmasters, and then you have a bunch of your own. Kurt sent me a base list for this, and then I did some of my own poking around on Goldfish, seeing what's doing well. There is a month or so between when people send me decks and when I actually play them. My backlog is 4 to 6 weeks most of the time, so I try to do a little updating, making sure everything is still where it should be from 4 to 6 weeks ago. And Kurt's list didn't have the Fiend Artisan or the Palace Jailer, and it was a little higher on Thalia and Endurance. I got 3 and 2 here. Kurt had 4 and 3. And I kind of like leaning in the direction of having more fun bullets to tutor for than hyper redundancy in the core things. Some of the lists I saw only had 2 Thalia. Like these are all moving parts, and I'm kind of just hedging in the direction of trying more things than focusing in on anything, because I don't really know anything about the archetype right now. I was really sad to see that Ramunap Excavator is not in any list right now. Like, none of these Dark Maverick lists make room for Ramunap Excavator, which is the card that I'm always very scared of when I play against this deck. Excavator plus Wasteland is the end game in a lot of matchups, but clearly the Maverick community, who know more than me about this, determined they don't need that card right now, and I'm not going to mess with that. But there's a couple slots here that have been seasoned to taste. The sideboard is just basically a bunch of ways to stuff combo, and then some chokes. Deafening Silence, Containment Priest, a Snuff Out, Plague Engineer is really good against enemy Bowmasters, in case you care about that, plus all the stuff it's normally good against. Thoughtseize, Surgical, and Vivian Monsters Advocate. This was not in any of the lists I saw, but it was in Kurt's list, and I kept it. This looks like a lot of fun. This is the type of nonsense Magic card you expect out of a Maverick player. There's a meme format in the Legacy world where it's like, Maverick players will say, I have something for that matchup, and then show you the worst card you've ever seen. And it's with love that I fully embrace Vivian Monsters Advocate as a Legacy card. There's also a Gaddock Teague in this list. This one I'm not really sure about. Like, looking at the Legacy metagame right now, it seems like the average deck in the top 10 decks has fewer hits for Gaddock Teague than you do in your Greensun Zenith deck. I'm a little suspicious of this one, but I am going to keep it in, because I imagine if I do pair into the matchup where it's important, it's going to be very important. But I have my eye on Gaddock Teague. If you really like Maverick, check out Dukes on Twitch. He is a almost exclusively Maverick streamer and really good dude from Australia. Go check him out if you like this sort of thing. If you are in the Maverick community, I'm sure you already know Dukes, but if you don't know him, go get to know him. And this is Kurt Stark Maverick. Let's go do it. I'm on the play against a Yorion in round 1. This hand is kind of slow, but it does have Once Upon a Time, and I'm going to keep based on that. If Once Upon a Time plus my draw step comes up with any 1 or 2 drop, I'm probably pretty happy here. There's a Mother of Runes and a Bob. I think I want the Mother just to put the shields up right away. Because if I go in on Bob here, and it's just get Swords to Plowshare on turn 2 or whatever, that's no good. But Mother of Runes puts them on a turn 1 now or never for removal. And if this is Death and Taxes instead of some blue Zenith deck, then they'll have to think really hard about Swords to Plowshares versus Aether Vial. And they went with Vial, okay. And it does appear to be Death and Taxes. Cool, already getting rewarded here for taking the 1 drop, because now I have something else to do with 2 mana. I'm not sure what this is getting yet, but I'm definitely casting it. Looks like Noble Hierarch is the winner. So Ignoble makes black, but Noble makes green-white, and that's more important to me right now. And do not attack for 2 with your Mother of Runes. That's why you played it. To protect your future creatures. Wasteland probably looks juicy right now, which is fine because I'm holding Gaia's Cradle. Oh, we're getting scammed. Yuck. Alright, well. This is not what I thought it was. Or at least not completely. What did they pitch for that? Animate Dead. Oh, baby. And this Endurance, which would have been good, currently doesn't do anything. That information changed very quickly. Easy Death and Taxes into Orzhov Yorion scam, question mark. Esper Vial. What are we doing here? Animate Dead over Reanimate? Are you a World Gorger Dragon deck? What's going on over here? Prismatic Vista. And a pass. They're fetching in my upkeep. They're gonna Bowmaster? Like, what are we doing? Oh, sick. Okay, Green Sun Zenith. Actually interesting. It was just gonna be Endurance Pass. But Zenith, I can go for 3 here. Or wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could go for 4 here. The Questing Beast is in the graveyard. Palace Jailer is not green. I could grab Knight, probably. As a generic safety valve. Or I could go Fiend Artisan, invest in the future. Grist lets me leave up Swords to Plowshares. I think I just want Grist here. Yeah, it's either Knight or Grist. There's not a Bajuka Bog in the list, which is what I would really want Knight for. Yeah, I'll just start bugging out here. Okay. That happened. I'm not sure if it's right, but it's what I've done. Got a Caracas and a Recruiter of the Guard. Yikes. Okay, so Orzhov, still possibly Esper Vial, is what's going on here. Bring up Plague Engineer. That hardly seems fair. My creatures are humans. All of them. Okay, what do I do with that information? Maybe I just attack with Noble Hierarch. At least get 1 damage in before my humans all die. If they vial something in here, I have Noble Hierarch. I'm pretty happy to sacrifice to just kill something. It blocked with Recruiter. Interesting. Saving that 1 damage. Do they have Samwise? That would be annoying. Yeah, there's the 2/1 that when it enters the battlefield, you can raise dead something that died this turn, a permanent that died this turn. There it is. Yep, that's Samwise. But I have Endurance. We're covered. I also think that because this ability is going to fizzle, they won't be tempted by the ring either. I think that's how that works. Yep, cool. And they have Caracas plus Sam going. This is a pretty cool engine. Okay, they brought Vial up to 3. That's not necessarily the plan, but Sam has Flash. And they have 3 mana, so they could Violin, Plague Engineer, and then do Karakas, replay Sam stuff for a while. Well, that's distressing. They did not vial this in. It was worth the cast. I'm not going to activate Mother in response. It just doesn't matter. Like if they have white removal, they can just point it at the creature in response. Second Plow, that could be good. Okay, I'll cast a Plow. Because now that I have 2, they think they know about this. And Endurance can rumble. I mean, they can just block bounce. Attack with 1 insect also. Alright, just start pushing damage. Sam is a 2-1. I want to leave up the option of Grist sacking to kill something that comes out of Vial. Alright, Grist, keep grinding. Milled Outland Liberator. Here comes some 3-drop. Another Recruiter. Yo. Hope they don't have another Plague Engineer. Yeah, so Maverick is built on kind of squeezing resources and playing a slow, steady creature game. And my opponent's deck is specifically also built for that kind of game. And they had turn 1 Aether Vial. And they have at least some amount of combo potential because we've seen an Animate Dead. I don't know how far this is going to go, but this feels like a bad matchup. They're at the Recruiter for Recruiter stage of the game. Bad news, everybody. They're setting up for a giant Yorion next turn. They're activating Vial in response to the uptick trigger. So that can kill Grist. And then Yorion, or Vial will be on 5 next turn. They can grab Yorion, immediately Vial in, and refire 2 Recruiters and Skyclave Apparition. Blech. We're in bad shape, team. My Plague Engineer's in my sideboard. I think I'm gonna plow this Skyclave Apparition and try to make a run for it, but they're 22. What am I sprinting towards? This game is over. Well, that was the best possible draw. There's no top end banger though. Like there's no Primeval Titan in Maverick the way there is in Blue Zenith decks. There's no Atraxa. Collector Oof would shut off Aether Vial. That's actually interesting. Okay, I'm gonna attack. I know they have the Sam, so they could rebuy a Recruiter. But I'm just gonna bash like I have nothing going on, and then I'm gonna Zenith for Oof. And hope that turns off Vial for a while. My Outland Liberator's already in the graveyard. I'm gonna Zenith for 1 more than I'm actually doing. I have mana to spare, and I would like them thinking about all the possibilities. Oh no, what is this? Is your last card in hand? Oh, it can't be Containment Priest. That's not a card you would play. But they just fetched in response for reasons. Okay. I think Collector Roof is my best bet here. They shut down that Vial. And they can Sam and pick up the Flooded Strand here. There's always a permanent you can pick up in Legacy decks. Our mana bases are well suited to that. And the Ring did successfully tempt them this time. Okay, so they have Flooded Strand and 2 mystery cards in hand. I stopped the imminent Yorion loop for now. They can invest 2 cards in doing this. Let's see if... or 2 turns in doing this. Let's see if the other 2 cards in their hand can stuff the damage in the meantime. Okay, they didn't even reach for Yorion, so they probably have Solitude. I'm going to bounce Sam in the end step. I just have to get them dead, and that's a blocker. Okay, I've been very good at drawing greens on Zenith. Welcome to Maverick. Now what? I Kingdom for the Questing Beast, but it's gone. I could Endurance myself, so I have Questing Beast for later. Probably just Knight of the Reliquary at this point. I'm kind of out of green creatures. Does Scrib Ranger do anything on this board? Not really. Okay. I'm going to attack with everything that is not Collector Oof. And I have to play like they don't have Solitude because I can't really beat it anyway. Fetching Idyllic Range. Yikes. The technology. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Busted. Okay. Oh, and Solitude? They have it all? Yikes. Okay. We're super dead. Yep. Okay. that was my shot at stabilizing against Aether Vial. They gave up the idyllic Grange tech. I would have scooped to the Solitude, spewing off value there. Vivian Monsters Advocate. I think this is a big Vivian matchup for sure. Plague Engineer, good here. Snuff Out's good. Containment Priest is interesting because I'm a Zenith deck. I cast 4 or 5 Zeniths that game, but my opponent is a Vile Yorion Flicker deck. I feel like I should have access to Priest. Thalia does not seem very good in this matchup. Almost everything my opponent cast was a creature. I might want Thoughtseize just to punch a hole and see what my opponent's working with. We also saw Animate Dead. I don't know if I want Surgicals though. Oh, but Containment Priest overlaps on those two. Yeah, I was already pretty convinced on Priest just based on Vile and Yorion, and then also knowing that they're an Animate Scam deck. Definitely in for Priest. I don't think I want Surgicals though. If they kill me with Grizzlebrand on turn 1, they deserve it. Scrib Ranger blocks Yorion all day and gets multiple night activations. I don't know if that's important in this matchup. I don't think I'm going to shave on Zeniths, even though I'm bringing in Priests and they are kind of a non-bow. Could be a Once Upon a Time. I can see worlds where Palace Jailer is great. I can see worlds where Questing Beast is great. Oh, Bowmasters actually seems kind of mid. They didn't draw any cards that game. It would have been nice to ping a removal spell, but I don't need all 3 of those. Okay, Mother of Runes into some other stuff. Keep it. And I am going to lead on Mother, not Hierarch here, because the protection of Oof or Priest, like whatever comes next, let's just make sure it's solid. Been pretty good at these turn 1 Mother of Runes in my deck that only plays 2 Mother of Runes. Let's keep that going throughout the league. Because Mother of Runes is a bad top deck, so if you only play 2 and they're always in your opening hand, that's perfect. Just good deck building. There's a Vial, cool. I can oof that down right now. Speaking of oof, there is Once Upon a Time. You'll turn 2 Once Upon a Time. Right after casting a spell. Okay, shut it down. Shut it all down. They've got a Marsh Flats. Plains. Cycling Troll of Khazad-dûm. Okay. There's the reanimation angle of the deck. Or an additional one. We've already seen Grief, so it's not like we had no idea what it was about. And now I'm going to very suspiciously leave up 2 mana. This might be an important turn to have Containment Priest available. Plague Engineer, give me a break. Alright, I'm going to give Collector Oof pro white in response. Pro black. Does it matter? We've seen Solitude. We don't know about Snuff Out. Oh, yep, there's the Snuff Out. Cool. Okay, I'm going to respond to this with Containment Priest. She's big enough to survive Plague Engineer, but still keeps this Aether Vial in check. Noble Hierarch is a brick now. Sure are a lot of humans in this deck. Eastland, that's a good one. LOL. It does save me some life points though, and I can jam the Outland Liberator, who is only a human on the front. It can go from 1/1 to 3/3 if my opponent doesn't cast a spell. And number 4 from my opponent. Hope they don't have Palace Jailer. Please don't. Fruiter of the Guard. Causing all sorts of trouble for me. This can tutor Solitude and then unlock their whole board. Good chance this is an Ephemerate deck based on what we're seeing and the colors. Like, we haven't seen blue. This does appear to be just Orzhov Scam Ephemerate. Solitude confirmed. Cycling another Troll. They can just cast Solitude next turn. Head of the Reliquary. That's kind of a big O, maybe, in the future. Not currently. I think I want Fiend Artisan in play, though. Because if they're about to kill my Containment Priest, then that unlocks Fiend Artisan as a card. And leaving up 1 mana means that if they go to Solitude my Priest, I can Outland Liberator the Vial in response and still keep Aether Vial out of this game, which is something I'm worried about. Even without Vial, though, they have more cards in hand than me and more mana than me. And they're about to have more creatures than me. So they're ahead on every metric, Aether Vial notwithstanding. What if they have actual Living Death? Like the Living End card, but not Cascade? It would be so cool. I doubt they have it, but it would be very cool if they did. Here's the Solitude. They're going after Fiend Artisan. Okay, they don't even care about Containment Priest. That's cool. They have correctly identified they're winning without it. Getting rowdy with Recruiter of the Guard. They know my creatures are not going to be traded for that. Okay, land number 4. This means I can play a 4/4 Knight of the Reliquary. Just checking what dual land I want, whether green, white, black. What do I need here? I have black. It's not pretty, but it's there. That's also my splash color anyway. I think I just want the Savannah. Get the core colors going. Knight of the Reliquary. Cast that one. Wasteland. Wasteland could be used as a combat trick to make Knight of the Reliquary bigger than they thought it was, but they're not going to fall for that. I'm just going to cut their resources out from under them. Where I can, how I can. Okay, Moment of Truth. If they have Snuff Powder, Swords to Plowshares, or some 1 mana answer to Containment Priest, then they can grab Yori and flicker their board and I can never win. If they don't have all that, I can start doing Knight stuff and try to pull ahead somehow. We've got a Caracas now. That's a pretty powerful tool in this potential Yori on endgame we're approaching. I still don't have good blocks on this attack for 5. Recruiter of the Guard had to stay home though. Got him. The Frenzied Trapbreaker woke up. Okay. Important rules lesson. Containment Priest. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. You cannot ever cast a land. This is also a creature that's not a token. There is no way in the rules for Dryad Arbor to enter the battlefield with a Containment Priest on the battlefield. It's short of like, you know, humiliating the Containment Priest for a turn or whatever, but like, don't just shove your Dryad Arbor into Containment Priest. It will get exiled. Okay, that said, let's figure out what I'm doing this turn. I think I'm going to start by moving into combat. Okay, I'm going to declare attacks and try to eat this Aether Vial for free. Get rid of that. That was some tasty free money. I like it. Okay, they're chump blocking there. And I'm going to float green and activate Knight. Wait. I'm going to float white and activate Knight because I'm probably spinning up Cradle here and I will have plenty of green mana. Yeah, there are white cards that I would want to cast here. Okay. White, activate Knight. Getting Gaia's Cradle. Make a bunch of mana. Once upon a time. Endurance, cool. Yeah, I'll take Endurance. Unfortunately, playing this will flip my Trap Breaker back down, but it did its job. And I can't hold the Endurance. So if they have Sam or whatever, it's going to work. I am targeting their graveyard, though. They clearly use it as a resource. Yep, there's Sam. I was a mana short of holding it till the end step and playing around the Sam. Now they can re-recruit. Disappointing. I do have enormous creatures now, though, which is nice. Oh, they're refiring multiple Sams. That's cool. Oh yeah, I did kill Aether Vial this turn. That's a cool trick. Haven't seen that one before. So they got Vial and Recruiter in their hand that I know about. And I have 2 cards that cannot be cast because they will either die or be exiled immediately. Perfect. Orcish Bowmasters. Great. They finally found a way to bust my Containment Priest, which does unlock Dryad Arbor, but probably too late for that. Charming Prince. Yuck. Yeah, my guess is Charming Prince had been stuck in their hand for a while. I am dead now. Their engine's online here. I'm not going to be able to overcome this. This was a pretty seriously bad matchup. If I were to go into the lab and think, how would I absolutely deconstruct Maverick while beating them at their own game? I would probably build Orzhov Yorion Scam. Powerful stuff. On to the next round.
You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better.
On the play in round number 2, I'm going to keep this one lander with Once Upon a Time. And I think I am going to fire off Once Upon a Time now. Like, there's 2 plays here. Fire it off now, try to spike a 1-drop or a second land. Or wait until next turn, where if I draw a land, then I can take a creature, or maybe it can find land number 3. But I think finding the 1-drop is worth firing off now for. Okay. Well, I found the 1-drop, but I think I might be a coward and just take the land. If I was going to do that, why did I do it this way? I guess this plays around days and stuff, or spell pierce, I don't know. Whatever. There might have been some broken heuristic there. Maverick players, let me know how to cast Once Upon a Time in that situation. But yeah, why would I take a mana source that dies to Lightning Bolt when I could take a mana source that does not? I like this hand, though. This is pretty solid. We got Thalia for generic disruption, Collector Roof for specific disruption, and Endurance in case we need to do an emergency turn 0 pitch. There's land number 3, easy game. I can fetch Basic Forest here. Nice. Thalia into Knight of the Reliquary. Like your mother warned you about. Red, white, Stoneforge Mystic. Like my mother warned me about. Oh no. Well, that flipped on me very quickly. Oh, and they have main deck Jite like it's freaking 2010. People don't even play that card anymore. Stop it. Okay, well, I have Collector Roof in my hand, and them going for Jite. I hope that doesn't mean that they already have Cauldron in hand. But the cool thing is, I know Knight of the Reliquary is going to resolve. Because I have Thalia. Can't daze, can't force. Okay. Opponent tailor-made to beat me here. And True Name Nemesis sucks ass. Holy moly. Okay. I've got options here, though. I can play a second Knight and Wasteland them twice. Sounds pretty gas. Just outmuscle this thing. Yeah, I'm in. Second Knight. Activate the first one. I'll sack the Bayou. Wasteland, take out a white source. Wasteland from hand, take out a white source. Alright. I'll just put you to 0 mana under Thalia and go wide around the True Name. How about that? Sounds reasonable. There's 2 more Wastelands in my deck. Oh wow, they're getting rowdy. They're like, go ahead, attack me for 17. I don't care. Just my life total. Okay. I think I need to Wasteland first and see what's going to come out of this Stoneforge Mystic. Because if I just attack and they put in Kaldra, which would make sense based on the fact that they attacked with True Name, then I get blown out. Here comes the activation. Oh, it is just Jite. Cool. Well, then we're actually in kind of reasonable shape here. Because I can cast this Collector Oof, which turns off the Jite. And then I can fetch a Savannah, cast Noble Hierarch, spin up another Wasteland, or I could just attack for 12. Do I want to put them to fully 0? I think so. How do I lose that game? Okay, yeah, cool. They've had enough. Neat. Yeah, Jite, weird card. Former multi-format nightmare magic card, and now just kind of embarrassing against all decks, even this creature deck full of X1s and X2s. It was just like, yeah, okay, that card doesn't matter. Cool. Plague Engineer beats True Name. Is this another Vivian matchup? It might be. Thalia was great. Collector Oof has text. Collector Oof doesn't matter against Kaldra and barely matters against Batterskull. Matters a lot against Jite. But we just kind of showed that Jite sucks. This might not be an endurance matchup. Outland Liberator has text. Scrib Ranger. I didn't see Murktide Regent. That doesn't mean they don't have it, but I gotta make room somewhere here. I don't think I want Palace Jailer versus the True Name deck. Mother's good, Plow's good. I like the Mana Dorks. I like Thalia. Questing Beast also chumps True Name, or makes it into a chump, doesn't chump it. That's a different word in Magic parlance. Because when it attacks, damage can't be prevented, which includes protection. Shaving a Once Upon a Time, I guess. I feel like I'm going to do that every round. Maybe I don't know how to play with Once Upon a Time, or maybe that's exactly what it's for. Is one of these cards worse than all the other ones? The answer is Vivian. I answered my own question. But she does seem great if we get into any sort of grindy situation. But maybe this isn't a traditional Jeskai control deck. We saw Stoneforge Mystic for Jute, True Name Nemesis. Yeah, maybe this isn't the grindy type of thing. Okay, I can turn 2 choke. I'm in. This is exactly the thing I'm most scared about every time that I play against Maverick. And I'm going to try to go for it and be the bad guy. A Ponder. It feels like I'm betraying everything I believe in to be excited about turn 2 choking an innocent Magic player who went Tundra Ponder. It's truly devastating. First appearance of Bowmasters for me. That could come up if they don't just get choked out and die here. Okay, interesting choice now. I want to choke when they don't have mana up. But I could shove this Knight. I could also try to punish a cantrip. I think I'm just going to attack for 1 with Hierarch. And try to do something cool with Bowmasters. Lorien Revealed. Jealous. Awesome card. Check out this week's episode of the Eternal Glory podcast. We talked a lot about Lorien Revealed and how mana bases and cantrips and stuff work in Legacy. True Name Nemesis. Okay. I'm gonna Bowmasters in response to this. That doesn't really mean anything or do anything, but if I can scare them with Bowmasters into using a counterspell like that Daze, cool. That's one less tool they have to fight Choke. But, I mean, they couldn't have Daze Choke anyway. Alright, let's hope this works. Did you have a Force of Will also? Nope. Alright, go to sleep. Now we have to beat True Name Nemesis and a bunch of Lotus Petals. Blooded Strand. Hope you don't have a basic Plains. Oh, yeah. Okay. That is the answer. Do I think that they would have Force Choke if they had it? Yes, I do. I don't think they have Force. Is there a way I can maneuver this game to try to be even more certain? I think running out Knight of the Reliquary is reasonable here. Basically, I'm in a spot where it's like, do I want to test the possibility of them having Force now or give them more time to draw Force? And I don't really want to do either, but... Okay, Knight of the Reliquary will win this race. So they got to do something now. And then after they do something, Plague Engineer can kill True Names, and then we win. There's a Plow. Okay, I'm going for it. It's time. Just right in there. Do I think they're going to have any additional Merfolks or Rogues? Nope, they just conceded. I don't even need to decide. Oh, man, Moto. Alright, cool. A nice Maverick dismantling of a deck trying to play cheap blue spells. The way that Orzhov Scam Vile dismantled me last game is what I did to this blue opponent this game. Feels nice to be back into the normal stream of how Legacy works. On to the next one.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play in round 3 with only Wasteland as mana and no Once Upon a Time to save me. Gonna mulligan this one. Here we go. I'm going to keep this. I need the Hierarchs to turn on white. Kind of a spew. I think I'm going to bottom Mother of Ruins because by the time she gets online, I will have had to already have 2 or 3 creatures stay in play, which means she's not good anymore. I hope that makes any sense. Okay, that's what I'm doing. If I had white, I would have kept Mother of Runes and played her first, but I don't, so I won't. Noble Hierarch, send it. A swamp. Oh no, a Lotus Petal. My Thalia is going to be a turn late here. Oh no! Oh, the One Ring. That's even worse. Okay. Interesting. Well, I mean, Thalia still seems reasonable against the opponent who just did all that. I'm gonna need my Collector Roof or Questing Beast at some point. Or Questing Beast doesn't matter after this turn, so that's not a thing. Okay. Does sequencing matter this turn? I could just not play my Cradle. That's a sequence that could matter. If I play Noble Hierarch, then I can play Knight. If I'm going to play Thalia, my sequencing doesn't matter this turn, because it's just 3 mana worth of stuff. But I could get 4 mana worth of stuff out of this board if I'd rather play Knight than Thalia, which I'm not convinced is the case. Yeah, I think I'm just going to fetch for Savannah now, and then save my Cradle for a big exciting moment later. Okay, here's all my stuff. Disappointing that these Dark Ritual and Lotus Petal already got past my defenses. But let's hope I can slow down the next one. All right, they're going to draw so many heckin' cards, though. Vault of Whispers, oh baby, Collector Oof, please. Spending 1 mana on a Lotus Petal. All right, come on, deck. Green Sun Zenith, Collector Oof. It's time. Take this game immediately from 0 to hero. Green Sun Zenith. Palace Jailer. Okay. That's certainly a card that there is. I can have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I mean, that's enough to do all my stuff. All right. Gaia's Cradle. And because of the white requirements, I have to tap Cradle first here. Knight of the Reliquary. And Palace Jailer, exiling nothing just to become the Monarch. This might turn on Bowmasters in a way that I'm not happy with, but just hope they don't have that. We're going to find out right now if they have Bowmasters. Nope. Okay. They would have killed Thalia before combat. I have put a lot of damage on the board, and I have a Thalia in play. Cycling Troll of Khazad-dûm. Okay. There's my Bowmasters. That could punish the ring next turn. Alright, like, I don't know what their combo win is here. They're clearly a deck with a lot of fast mana and stuff to do with it. Like, I don't know if I'm about to get Tendrils out or if they try to reanimate Troll and then stabilize. Like, I don't know where this is going. But they're in a lot of trouble if they don't either clear the board or win the game this turn. Urza's Saga. Okay. That's not going to be fast enough to win this game. Dark Ritual, netting 1 mana. Shoulder the Apocalypse. Okay, she's pretty good. I can just tutor up Caracas, though, and deal with that. Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay, I lose 2 life here. Oh my goodness, I drew the Zenith. All right, let's shut it down. I've had enough of this Joker across the battlefield from me. I'm going to float green. Activate Knight. They can't ritual out an Oppo here. That's why I'm doing all this now. Get Caracas. Bounce Shieldred. Make a bunch of mana with Green Sun Zenith. Or do I need to Zenith? Might as well. X equals 2. Just making sure I don't have lethal with Questing Beast. No, okay. X equals 2, just fine with me. Getting Collector Oof. And then for good measure, or I don't need to measure, I can do that whenever. Palace Jailer, get in for a bunch. And then I draw a card. And 3 of your 5 permanents don't work anymore. And I can still Bowmaster. Oh yeah, beating a turn 1 One Ring with my green-white creature deck. Feels good. Force of Vigor looks important here. Gaddock Teague, okay. I said in the deck tech, I'm not sure what Gaddock Teague is actually for. It's for the One Ring. Count it. Teak's coming in. Thoughtseize looks important here. And do I think I want Mother of Runes here? They're a black deck. They could have any type of removal. Oh, they're Black Shouldred Stompy. This deck has to have Bowmasters in it, right? I guess it doesn't have to, but seems like a reasonable stretch, reasonable belief. Scrib Ranger once again. I love Scrib Ranger. It just hasn't really lined up in this league yet. Please do not understand me cutting it every round as me thinking it's bad. Number one Scrib Ranger stan here. Is Endurance worse than Once Upon a Time? It might be. Is Mother of Runes better than the second Endurance? It might be. And Plague Engineer could be in this deck. Yeah, there's a lot of things that could be in this deck. Okay, I'm just going to board small to start. And if there needs to be a game 3, we'll have more information then. Thalia's here. Orcish Bowmaster's here. Wasteland's here. We got to survive turn 1. I think I only won last game because I was on the play. We'll see what they have to offer me here. This could be Black Saga Storm that just also plays the One Ring now. That makes Ad Nauseam really bad, though. Yeah, this is not going to be Saga Storm. Okay, getting griefed. They pitched another grief to that. They took my Bowmasters. Ooh, Ancient Tomb go after seeing Wasteland. I'm just coming for your life here. And I drew a green card to pitch to Endurance that I didn't have a second ago. Alright, they can cycle for Troll of Khazad-dûm. Still not a good deal, though. And now I'm ready to extra blow out a Reanimate. There's the Swamp. There's a long pause here where I wonder if they're thinking, did he draw a green card? I did. You were right not to make your move. You're a coward, but you were right. I'm not going to put a fetch land out where Opposition Agent can find it. I can play on non-fetches, it's fine. I don't really expect Wasteland out of this deck. And if they have it, I have plenty of lands anyway. And we can just adjust. Okay. Well, you got me. Have Wasteland, but they're not able to use it. That's the perfect scenario for me. The opponent who does not Wasteland you after you just hang a non-basic land out is an opponent desperate for mana and someone who needs to get punished with Thalia immediately. Or they have Bowmasters and don't give a fuck about Thalia. Got me good. Okay. That was embarrassing. Okay, the beats begin. And I'm getting griefed again. Exiling Shoulder the Apocalypse. Okay, so I could Endurance here, because Endurance is going anyway. I lose Dryad Arbor forever. Dryad Arbor doesn't matter. It's basically, do I think Dryad Arbor is better than leaving Troll of Khazad-dûm and Grief in their graveyard? And they end up with another Grief in their graveyard anyway. Oh, whatever. I think this is... Dryad Arbor is irrelevant enough that I'm okay with this situation. Just in case this matters. Like, if they do have Reanimate here, I would rather face a Grief than a Troll of Khazad-dûm. Hey! Okay, don't have Dark Ritual Opposition Agent right now, please. As I drew a Heater. I think I want to get Scrubland and just round out my colors in the face of the Wasteland. How do we feel about a 4/4 on this board? In their black, they could have any number of removal spells. Yeah, they feel fine about it. But down to 1 card in hand. And probably a better top deck than they are from this position. Like, we've seen One Ring and these big honkin' spells in the deck. And I've got Zenith and stuff. I got a lot of bangers I could draw. Oh, I think that qualifies. Like, I don't know if it's good now, but it certainly turns off that land they just played. It stabilizes against these orcs. Oh, I should just fetch before Opposition Agent is back online. They have 1 card in hand. It can't be Dark Ritual and Opposition Agent. Those are the rules. Snuff out. You got me. Okay. They're back up to 3 mana. They're still pushing damage. And I'm still in the position where drawing a creature is good. And my deck is mostly creatures. Uh-oh, they made it to 4 mana. They're Hellbent, though. That's it. That's all they got. Oh, that's fun. I'll run this Cradle out here and Now the question is, do I see if they draw Saga for turn or just cut them off 4 mana now? I think I gotta cut them off 4 mana now and hope they don't draw Saga. Shablamo. Okay, here we are. Maverick gameplay. Can I come up with a 2/2 creature before they find their next thing? Wasting my Bayou. Oh, another Wasteland. They can take me off black here. That's really good. And off 3. A double Wasteland from the top rope is pretty good. Some 2-drop? Oh, sick. I mean, they found their second Wasteland just in time, but I can get a Hierarch going here. No, Ignoble. I have plenty of green and white. Got to make sure I have black if I draw it. Okay. They're in top deck mode. All my cards are good. I get 3 more draw steps before I'm dead. Oh, greatness at any cost. Heck yeah. Now I have the very real decision of trading with Bowmasters if it attacks, or trying to bury them with actual cards. I think I'm trading with Bowmasters. I'm not that interested in greatness. My Dryad Arbor's already gone. I'll leave that in my hand just in case they have a discard spell and want to check me. Yeah, that block made it from a 4-turn clock to an 8-turn clock, where Bob could have just killed me. I think the block was fine. I don't know how many 1-mana cards are relevant in their deck right now, but that was certainly a good one. And going for their own Bowmaster, picking off my creature rather than going for one of my, like, Knight of the Reliquary and just killing me is a choice. Okay, Zenith. What are my 2s that I can still get? Fiend Artisan? That's pretty big. And it's black, can't be snuffed. And I'm going to fetch to 4, get my last black source online, and then Zenith for 2 and have the biggest creature you've ever seen. Fiend Artesian. 8/8. Let's go. We've seen Edicts. They could Fatal Push. They cannot snuff out. Dark Ritual, oh no. Dark Ritual Sheoldred's Edict. God damn. Can't catch a break. I'm at 1. Okay. I think they've finally gotten over the hump here. I'm not sure what I could do from this spot at 1 life, and it does not involve Once Upon a Time. That was a great game. Now I get to be on the play, and I know much more about their deck. Vivian Monsters Advocate. If the game looks anything like that, that's a beating. I don't think I'm interested in Palace Jailer anymore. Knowing they have Bowmasters, which makes 2 creatures right away, they can just steal the initiative, and also, even the turn that I become the Monarch, or any turn thereafter, they could just Bowmaster, ping Jailer, Monarch trigger, ping Jailer, Jailer's dead, take the Monarch. Yeah, that sounds awful. And Thalia does not line up well against Bowmasters either. Plague Engineer on Orc is something I'm interested in. I think I still need to keep them kind of honest with Thalia. Containment Priest on the Reanimates. There's a lot of options here. And I have so many X1s that I think it's probably better to try to overload Bowmasters than board out from under them. And Thalia is the only reason I won game 1. I'm thinking about Once Upon a Time. I'm thinking about Gaddock Teague. And Teague shuts off the 1 ring, but now we know for sure they're not like a weird Storm variant. They are just Black Stompy with Sheoldreds. I don't think I want Teague. I can answer the ring in other ways. I do like the Endurance. Do I want Thalia? And if so, where does she come from? Probably a Once Upon a Time. Get her back in there. I have answers to rings, or to orcs now. Okay, I think Containment Priest hurts me more than it helps me. And I'm gonna do it like this. Ugh. 3-color deck. Punish. I got a mulligan this. This just doesn't do anything. This one's fine. I'm going to keep this and I guess bottom one of the 3 Zeniths. That is a lot of that. And I know they're a Wasteland deck now. They can't grief me off Zenith for 2 on turn 2. Which could represent... Oof, I just boarded out the Teague, so I can't Teague them on turn 2. That's probably just going to be oof. We've seen the Lotus Petals, the Vault of Whispers, all that stuff. That's my default plan. We'll see if it changes. And I'm not going to Zenith for Dryad Arbor when I have Noble or a Hierarch Ignoble version. It's just like the same card, but better. Oh, the old Swamp Go. Nothing suspicious here. I could Fiend Artisan. I think I have to just pass, though. That's so dirty, because if they just have nothing, I wasted a turn, but if they Ritual out an Oppo... Yeah, so they had Troll, and I just wasted my turn. Disappointing. And now we get to play the Bowmaster Shell game of if they Bowmaster my Hierarch, then I can Bowmaster their Bowmaster, but if they do nothing, I'm going to Bowmaster in the end step, and then they can ping mine, and then they have one and I don't. Ancient Tomb is the play. Alright, yeah, I'm just going for the Bowmaster. And if they have Bowmasters, it is an interesting decision now to fight my Bowmaster or to take out my mana creature. Okay. I'm glad they committed Bowmaster here. And they did go after my mana creature. I'm going to float black, not that it matters, not that I can do anything with that. Land? Land, 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 land? Yeah, always had it. Okay, Zenith for 2. Right now, while Opposition Agent is not on the menu. And I could grab Collector Oof and just be ahead of that. Yeah, I don't think Outland Liberator is helpful here. Collector Oof, you're in. And my Orc army is going to battle. I'm happy to trade this with anything. Yeah, the armies kill each other. Deal. I'm pretty worried about Sheoldred right now. I don't have a plan for that. Okay, Urza Saga does not cast Sheoldred. Another Hierarch. Okay, I'm going to play this and attack with Oof. Okay, 3/3 Oof. See what they want to do about this. Trading Oppo for it unlocks my Zenith. Looks like they had none of the above. Fiend Artisan, Mighty 2/2. They just did nothing with their mana. So I think any player would have just played Oppo there if they had it, because not only does it get into play and still mess me up, whether it works or not, like you're not going to put shields down on activating Urza Saga just for the possible potential of a blowout with Oppo. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure they still have this Swamp in their hand. Or is this the... Did they play this? Oh, maybe this... If they started on Ancient Tomb, spun into... Or was that last game? I think the Swamp is still in their hand. Not gonna lie, I've lost track. But they played Vault of Whispers to make constructs bigger. Ooh, yeah. Okay, that's bad news for my opponent. I'm gonna attack with Collector Oof or Fiend Artisan. I'll attack with Oof. Let them commit their construct and then destroy the construct and the Saga with Force of Vigor on the hard cast. Saga, construct, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ka-chow! Got an extra 2 damage out of them there on that Ancient Tomb activation. Neat. Still in trouble to Sheoldred. Hope that doesn't happen at any point, but they'd have to tap Ancient Tomb to do it. And I don't know how many card draw spells I'm locking out with Bowmaster. Maybe they play Night's Whisper or something. Maybe they have the Ring in their hand, which is double covered by a Collector Roof and Bowmaster. Plague Engineer. Okay. Orc and Human both kill something here. Human it is. And there's the Swamp. Okay, I was right. They didn't play it yet. Okay, I can Zenith for 3. Just grab a Knight of the Reliquary. I could get Grist here. That's probably really good. Knight, Grist, Endurance are the possible lines. I also have Fiend Artisan who can get non-green creatures, but I have to sack my Bowmaster to do it. I could sack Bowmaster, get another Bowmaster, ping theirs, and be ahead on the board more. I can also just attack with Fiend Artisan here and see what they want to do about that. Yeah, I think I'm okay offering up Fiend Artisan on this board. They're in a position where they kind of have to block, and then that clears their Death Touch creature. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Fetching, taking my first damage of the game. Oh no, you had Oppo the whole time? Stop! Yikes. Well, at least it got the fetch land and not the Zenith. I think they just drew into one of those two things, either the Ritual or the Oppo. They've not been playing like they have that card. All right, well, I'm glad I sequenced that the way I did, and that they don't have my Knight of the Reliquary now. Okay, pass the turn, I guess. They took my Dryad Arbor. Oh god, do you have Shieldred? Oh no, it's Grief. All right. Grief's not good either, but it's much better for me than Shieldred. My hand was already functionally empty. Okay, their life total is low. Half of their mana is coming from Ancient Tomb that they can only tap 2 more times this game. And we're in a bit of a top deck war. Oh, they have Wasteland. They can take me off black. Oh, they took me off white instead. Cool. That also makes sense. My fetch lands are dead. All right, we're about to get scrappy. Ooh, I also have a Wasteland. I'm not... Oh, I am going to use it. What am I saying? Nope, I'm going to save it for an Urza Saga. If you want to be over there tapping your Ancient Tomb at 5 life, we can play that game. I'm saving this for a Saga. There's Dryad Arbor. I could also Wasteland that. I'm not going to, though. Secret Combat Trick, though, that would increase a Knight of the Reliquary by 2, because that's my land. If I were to have one someday. Another Wasteland, okay. Well, now I'm okay wasting the Ancient Tomb. And we're just going to chill for a while, it seems. Now, wasting Ancient Tomb takes them off Shieldred. There's the hilarious possibility, though, that they play Sign in Blood in their deck, and targeting me with Sign in Blood on this board is actually pretty devastating. Swords of Plowshares is great if I ever get white mana, but it has to come straight out of the deck, because fetch lands don't work. Okay, they're finally getting rowdy with Grief. Been wondering how long it's going to take them to start doing that. Does that mean they drew Bowmaster? Oh, sick. Found white. What does that do? Does that let me attack with Collector Oof? I don't think so. I think I just hang out now. Oof might be the only thing keeping me alive here. Childred's Edict. Okay, I'm going to be sacking Bowmasters here. And passing the turn. Oh no, a Dark Ritual. They're getting loose here. Hardcast Snuff Out, I hate it. It works though. You got it. Alright, I'm gonna plow Oppo. And I don't think I Wasteland here. I'd rather have a higher Zenith. I could waste the Dryad Arbor to take some damage off the board. But I want a Zenith for 3 if I can. And I still have some respect for Urza Saga. Okay, Noble Hierarch, not really where I wanted to be with my life. And I am going to Wasteland the Dryad Arbor now. Start soaking up damage. Okay, I feel like I've lost the card drawing contest, and I am behind on all the resources that I was ahead on 5 turns ago. And there's the Saga. I don't know if that was a slow roll or a top deck. Either way, they played around it. Another land. Oh, I'm not going to block with this, so I'll attack. They could just flash an Oppo and eat it, but I'm dead to that anyway. And I'm going to fetch now while I still can. Doesn't change the clock. Let's just hope for the best here, but I think I'm dead. Okay, games 2 and 3 both came down to opponent on low resources with me ahead, and me just not drawing good cards while they did draw good cards. Now I can't possibly beat this Saga. Knight of the Reliquary, thanks for showing up late to the party as usual. Well, GG's. Good stuff. Those were good interactive back and forth games. Some exciting top decks from both of us. That game 2 especially was really cool, where every turn I was like, yeah, I needed that. And then they had exactly the answer to it off 1 mana. Pretty good stuff. Good games, even though we lost them.
The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structure tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe.
I'm on the play for round 4. Been doing well with die rolls. This hand's great. I'm going to keep it. Going to Once Upon a Time and hope for one of my many 1-drops to have a perfect little curve out here. Start with Once Upon a Time. Big Noble Hierarch. Valley is tempting. I think I'm gonna take the Ignoble Hierarch and just try to bully here and leverage mana advantage rather than get another 2-drop in, even though Thalia is dope in many matchups. This is where the Ancient Tomb defense grid, and I wish more than anything I had Thalia. Oh, we're playing against lands. This is probably a nightmare, but I do have a quick Knight of the Reliquary, but it's not as quick as the Urza Saga. Oh, Mox Diamond too. Yeah, let's keep it going. Oh, another spell. We're not even done. Holy moly. I was about to say at least we can Outland Liberator and kill the Urza Saga, but I think I'm going to have to kill Sylvan Library and then just make my way through the Saga. I don't think I can beat Library here. I'll just deal with that and then figure out the rest of it later. My deck does play big creatures and removal spells. Okay, yeah, now they're all in on Urza Saga. But Saga can tutor Expedition map, and then they can do stuff. All right, now it can't. Okay, okay. It's starting to come together. Something resembling a plan. I can double spell here, playing Fiend Artisan and Collector Oof. Oof also shuts off Mox Diamond, and now they can't tutor Expedition map effectively. Okay. We're going to get our squeeze on. We just have to beat a couple of 4/4s. Okay. Based on how my opening hand looked and their turn 1 looked, I did not think I would feel this okay going into turn 3. Bathing Needle. I hope they name Artisan and not Knight. Fiend Artisan was the name. Cool. 4/4s starting their rumbling. Last zone. That was pretty good. Wasteland. That's also pretty good. Okay. Knight of the Reliquary is being cast here for sure. And do I want to put this Wasteland into play or the Fetch Land? I think it's Wasteland. Just get to work on that. If they activate Blast Zone from here, it kills their Needle and their Exploration. And then if they charge it, I'll be able to see it and waste it then. Now the question is, do I double block? Am I worried about this Mox Diamond turning on? Fiend Artisan's already off. If I take this hit, I go to 8, and then I am kind of stable. Oh, I can make a cool play next turn. I think I'm just going to take the 8 here. Yeah, alright. I'm at 8. I can fetch Dryad Arbor, block, spin Dryad Arbor into something else with Knight, and that also grants Fiend Artisan, and then I can just stabilize in a way that is much better for me. And it gives me a chance to draw Swords to Plowshares. Had it. There's not really an attack here because they have the Mazavith. Let's see what this Thespian stage wants to do. I can tutor up more Wastelands at will now. It's less important. Okay, never mind. I have to kill the Blast Zone before it wipes out all my things. That makes Knight a 3/3. And then fetch plus Dryad Arbor, block with Knight, rotate away Dryad Arbor. I'm in good shape here. They can Mazavith their own creature to save it. Dryad Arbor get in. Block with Knight. Block with... Maybe I just block with the Dryad Arbor. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Then spin away Dryad Arbor. Yep, they're saving that one. The other one is still blocked, even though there's not a creature in front of it. And I think I just tutor Wasteland to make sure I don't die out of nowhere. Neat. Urza Saga. I would like to waste that, so I will. Yeah, they're Hellbent. I'm going to waste it now. Even if they copy it with Stage, I can spin up another Wasteland and just take that out. This is not a big deal to me. Okay, that's fine. I will remove that shortly. I would like to start attacking, so I'm going to plow the untap Construct. Oh, another Knight. Let's go. Okay, play Knight number 2. Spin up Wasteland. 1 Wasteland left in the deck. And I can bash for 5 here. And Knight of the Reliquary doing Knight of the Reliquary things. Life from the Loam would be awful for me this turn. Most other things are fine. Spoke it into existence. Saga's back. And Thespian Stage is back. Another Hierarch doesn't really help me here. Going to attack with all of the creatures that survive this construct. If they Mazavith one of the knights, then I have knight available to activate and spin up the 4th Wasteland. And I gotta kind of navigate this. They could chump block and then Mazavith Fiend Artisan and take 8. They're going for the trade on Fiend Artisan. They are amazing at night. Okay, cool. That all worked out how I wanted. And I'll use my Bayou to cast Noble Hierarch. Life from the Loam, hell of a draw. No Bajuka Bog in this list. Okay, let's see what they've got here. They got a Dredge Loam, right? Found Wasteland. Don't really care about. Blast Zone kills my Hierarchs. I don't care about that either. Yeah, I'm just going to spin up a Wasteland, kill Mazavith, and bash for a Gajillion. Saga, Windswept Teeth, Wasteland are what they're getting here. I think they're just dead here. Yeah, they can block one of my 10/10s. Sacrifice Bayou. Grab that final Wasteland from my deck. Wasteland Mazavith. Unless they have Crop Rotation in their hand, which I don't think they do. I think I know both cards and they're 2 lands from the Loam. Yeah, they were Hellbent and then they top deck Loam and then they cast Loam twice. Yes, I believe they are dead for Exacxes, or not quite Exacxes, but exactly enough attackers here. 10/10, 10/10, 2/2. 10 plus 2 is 12. Your life total is 11. You have 1 blocker. Knight of the Reliquary, folks. The backbone of this deck. Force of Vigor coming in for sure. Surgical Extraction coming in. And I think that's it. This could be a Vivian matchup. Everything's a Vivian matchup if you want it to be, if you believe. Questing Beast, Hunks, Mazavith, Mother of Runes, I don't think matters much. Sometimes lands has removal, sometimes they don't. Thalia, probably bad against the deck that's ramping out all sorts of mana and lands and doesn't really care about spells. Scrub Ranger, once again, not really for this matchup, though getting multiple activations out of Knight of the Reliquary might be good enough. Palace Jailer actually does seem reasonable. Bowmasters has basically no targets and doesn't do anything for this matchup. Oh, we saw Sylvan Library, I guess. How much do I want to respect Sylvan Library? And Swords to Plowshares, probably not necessary here. It's nice to punch through the constructs and give you a little insulation against Merit Lage. But we don't need 4. Pretty sure of that. With all our Wastelands and Caracas and Night Tricks, we don't need all of that going on. Endurance is great. Yeah, I think I like where I am here. Cool, let's do it. Oh, there's the Vivian. We've got a plan. His hand has lands and spells. I'm gonna go for it. Double once upon a time. There's no trick here. It's not like you can hold priority and cast the second one after the first one. You've already cast a spell. Like, just one of these is free and one of them's not. Exploration. And Thespian Stage and Expedition Map. Okay. They can sprint straight for Dark Depths if they want to this game, which is probably not a good plan versus Maverick. Once upon a time. Yeah, I'm going to put Wasteland in my hand. Just having that insulation is so nice. Wasteland in hand. Sorry, Noble Hierarch. And I'm going to Zenith, because I can ramp mana anyway. Fetching Basic Forest when I'm tutoring up a non-basic land creature that they would Wasteland anyway, I'm not sure if that makes sense. But if I get stuck in a Wasteland loop, I'm really bad against that. Okay, using Expedition Map first. They've seen the Wasteland. They know I have that. Getting Basic Forest. Okay. What about second Exploration? Oh, wow. 2 Explorations and no lands in their hand. That's weird. I am deeply concerned and weirded out by this. Genuinely. Okay, what are my 2 drops that I can Zenith for here? Collector Oof not doing much. Outland Liberator not doing much. Or Liberator might be good. Yeah, I think it it's reasonable to get Liberator here. And I'm going to get Scrubland. I have 2 green sources. This gives me my other 2 colors. Because if they don't cast a spell on their turn, then I get to start chewing up all their stuff for free. Oh, Scrib Ranger might be even better. Yeah, that turns on this engine. I should have fetched a different land if I was going to do this. No, I'm going to stick to the Outland Liberator like I planned. This preemptively answers a Urza Saga as well. If they sandbagged a Dark Depths here, that was a cool play. Because they know I have Wasteland, and if they miss their land drop, then maybe I don't play Wasteland. Drop Rotation for Wasteland, okay. It's taking me off white and black. They're going to do that. Cool. Oh, they have Loam. Yeah, that makes sense. And me without any graveyard hate. And they have a second Wasteland here. Okay, I am destroyed here if I don't find Endurance like yesterday. Oh, Sphere of Resistance. Doesn't even matter. Multiple Wastelands, not really what I want in life. I could just play Wasteland, let it go to Night, and then I cast Once Upon a Time on their turn, and then they might have a hard time casting 2 spells in a turn because of their own sphere. Loam was dredged, hit a second Loam. They have Loam and 1 mystery card in their hand. Wasteland hits my Arbor, that's gone. You got it. Loam costs 3 here. Oh wow, they're passing priority to burn off my mana. But if I waste your Taiga here, you need a land in your hand to play Loam. Do I know there's a land in the hand? Okay. Yeah, they are making a second basic here and just giving up on Loam for the turn. That's really cool. Okay. Things are happening. I will not be destroying their Sphere of Resistance. I will be destroying their Exploration. I'm going to destroy the nice old border one. We'll start with that one. And I can't play Bowmasters because of Sphere. I'm going to try to lock them under their own Sphere. And as soon as they find a land, they can get out of this. But they didn't play one last turn. They can't just dredge Loam. They said in the chat that phase change was definitely not the play. Yeah, floating that mana and then them locking them under their own Sphere. Wow. Yeah. These non-blue matchups, people talk about blue being skill intensive, control decks are hard, whatever, Brainstorm is a hard card to cast. But I find these non-blue decks so much harder because if you just make one little misstep, like, oh, my opponent has mana floating, I'll just move into combat and burn it off. That's free, right? And then you get wasted and then you're locked into your own Sphere and there's no coming back. These moments are super interesting and don't really happen often in blue mirrors. It's a different set of skills. I'm not saying one is harder than the other, but these creature decks, non-blue creature decks, are so much harder than blue decks. As someone who plays a lot of blue decks. On to the final round. That was sweet.
For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out.
I'm on the draw. Lost a die roll finally. That's great. I get to keep my complaint equity up in life. And we're playing for a positive record. I've kept 7. My opponent is racing to the bottom on 5. I feel like I'm about to get combo dumpstered. Scalding Tarn. Okay. I'm gonna Savannah Noble Hierarch. This does open me up to Lightning Bolt Wasteland and just leave me with nothing where I could have fetched basic Forest, but I have so many lands that I can just outmuscle the Wasteland. I'm fine with it. And if this is a combo deck, I'd rather just have my best possible resources available to me. Okay, they have no play pass. That's concerning. Thalia, okay. I'm pretty happy with that draw, it's safe to say. Against the Mold of 5 that just missed their second land drop. Thalia's in. And Noble Hierarch's going to attack. I love that I drew Thalia, because otherwise I was just going to land go, or land attack go, and telegraph Bowmasters, but now it doesn't necessarily look like that. Oh, Ancient Tomb. We might still just get show and tell out of this game. Once Upon a Time, don't like that. I can attack for 3, make Fiend Artisan, and make Bowmasters if I need to. Fiend Artisan, get in, and I can still cast Bowmasters off the lands that I have. Fetching in the end step, I am concerned. Please Brainstorm. Heck yeah. Alright, well, let's do a bunch of damage to them and then die to show and tell anyway. And they can force this. They do have a mana floating if this is what they have and the play they want to make. Ping, 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 ping. You go to 9. You have to go to 7 to cast your show and tell, and then we might just die. They haven't hit the concede button yet. And I don't have a banger to put in off of show and tell. I can put in Nurturing Peatland and then like Once Upon a Time and dig for Caracas on my turn. This is hardly ideal. There's land number 4. Okay, cool. We're just eating poop to preordain here. I think we got it at this point. Like Lotus Petal costs 1. I don't even know what they could have here. Cool. Alright, they showed me just enough. The Tropical Island is curious. This is certainly a combo deck. They mulled to 5, they have Ancient Tomb and Preordain. Those are all combo things. I wonder if they have Eureka on the side splash for their Is It Show and Tell deck? Are you like Minsk and Boo Stompy with Show and Tell as plan A? I'm not sure what's going on over there exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's a Show and Tell deck. Containment Priest, Thoughtseize, Deafening Silence, it's anything to slow them down. Surgical Extraction's interesting because it's good if you survive the first monster, and it's bad in all of their situations. And really, Thoughtseize is the only thing I have to survive the first monster. Or that's not true. Like Show and Tell putting in Night of the Reliquary, untap, tutor up Caracas, or put in Palace Jailer, take their thing. All of that's viable. Gaddock Teague turns off Force of Will and Sneak Attack. And Choke has some text in the matchup. It's not a Vivian matchup. Sorry, Viv. I could reasonably see 12 of these cards coming in. Probably off Mother. Once Upon a Time. Shave one of those. They don't seem to be going through the graveyard. Oh, I probably don't need Endurance. Grist can kill Emrakul's and stuff. Thalia is great. Bowmaster's great. Towards the Plowshares, I don't really want monsters in play in the first place, but I need to respect the fact that that might happen. Questing Beast. A burst of damage to flip the clock on this opponent might be important. I think I'm going to shave another Swords of Plowshares and let Caracas and Palace Jailer do the talking here. I don't think I'm going to have room for Surgical Extraction. Collector Oof is probably not textless in this matchup, but probably not good enough either. There's probably a couple Lotus Petals in the deck, but mostly irrelevant. I like my mana dorks. Scrib Ranger can let Night of the Reliquary do more explosive things, which I might need. Do I think Teague shutting off some stuff that they have maybe is better than shutting off my own Zeniths? Yeah, probably. Cutting another Once Upon a Time. And I have one more cut to make. Maybe Choke is a fantasy land, but I gotta beat this deck somehow. Oh no, I'm out of time. I'm out of time. Oh wow, I just completely spaced on the clock. Did it lock in the 61 that I had, or does it just present my main deck again? Oh no. In all my time, in my 4 years posting daily videos, I have never actually timed out on sideboarding before. How does this work? It looks bad. Oh, I have a 60 card deck. That's bad news. Well, wow, I was really in the zone on that one. Okay. I have Wasteland and Thalia, and knowing that they're a combo deck, and I have to present my Maverick game 1 again, I have concerns. Petal. Okay. Mindbreak Trap is on. Okay, turn 1, Show and Tell. I'm going to put in Thalia, or I can't plow if I put in Thalia. What even is my plan here? It probably is just Thalia anyway, in case they go Omniscience and don't have a creature. Itali Primal Conqueror. Okay. This lets you exile cards from our decks. You get a Thalia from me and a Ponder from you. You can't cast the Ponder. Playing your own Thalia would be super annoying, though. I don't think they will, right? Is that... like, is it more important to them to lock out my Swords to Plowshares or double lock out all their spells? Okay, they are interested in locking out Swords to Plowshares. Okay, Natali doesn't have haste. I'm gonna play Scrubland and pass the turn. If they attack with Thalia, you better believe I'm trading and just snapping off this Swords to Plowshares so fast. Oh, Magus of the Moon tilt. I have the basic planes. It's okay. They are attacking with Thalia. They're not attacking with Thalia. They changed their mind. They're not sure what they want to do with their life. They are attacking with Thalia. Okay. I can... if I block, I can Swords to Plowshares scot-free next turn. But then I'm just dead to any collection of cantrips that are currently locked out completely. Whereas, so I go to 13, I play my land. I go to, or no, I'm taking 9, not 7, right? Yeah, I think I'm losing this game if I don't do this. I go to 11, I play my land. Go to 2, I plow this thing. And then what? Then I... alright, I'm just gonna make the trade. Duck. Okay, let's draw a second Swords of Plowshares, the other one that's in my deck. Oh my god! Oh wait, no, it's game 1. I have so many of them. Easy game. Alright, I'm gonna plow both of these things, actually. That one and that one. Okay, they have Omniscience in play, and I need them to just draw like 3 lands in a row while I draw a Disenchant. Oh, they had Lorien revealed. Okay, we lose. Oh, into Lorien revealed. Great. Alright, yeah, fine, sure, whatever. Good job beating my main deck in game 2, tough guy. Okay, let me figure out how we're actually going to do this now. Okay, Force of Vigor. That would have been really good that game. Snuff Out, now that I know Atali is one of their hits. That's interesting. Containment Priest still good. Deafening Silence still good. Just making all these same decisions again, but faster. Choke may or may not matter. Gaddock Teague may or may not matter. Probably should have let Atraxa resolve, but I was busy tilting off. We could have seen 10 more cards in their deck. Probably would have been helpful. -1 plow, endurance. Just remembering what I did. Collector Oof out. Thalia is good. Why would I bring in Snuff Out if I could just leave in a 3rd plow? I'm going to leave in a 3rd plow rather than bring in Snuff Out. Once Upon a Times are going. I think this is basically where I got stuck last time. I have a minute 40 to figure it out this time around. Maybe Gaddock Teague sucks. I think it probably does. Or no, it stops Lorien revealed, which is a part of a sick Omniscience engine. Okay, I'm off Scrib Ranger. And one more cut here. I feel like Questing Beast has enough text on it that it's probably a gas battle I would like access to. We've seen Magus of the Moon. I definitely want all my mana dinguses. Okay, Once Upon a Time, the last one is out, and I'm just 10 cards in. This is almost a keepable hand, but instead it's not. I'm going to mulligan. This one is good against Magus. I have Caracas and Force in my hand. I'm definitely keeping this. And I think I send the Dryad Arbor away. I'm playing a land that can access basic forest. If they show and tell, I can put in Caracas, which can bounce a legend, and I can pitch, kill, an Omniscience. Let's see what the payoff is. I'm going to fetch basic forest in response here, just in case this is some, like, 1000 IQ Magus line. Show and tell resolves. I put in Caracas. You do have Omniscience. Lorien revealed in response, destroy Omniscience. These don't have force. Okay, they draw 3 cards here, and then we are kind of back at turn 1. They have so many cards in hand. Wasteland would be a good draw. Or some threat. Oh, I'll take a Wasteland. Cool. Wasteland. Okay, 5 cards in hand versus my Caracas Forest. And no threat. no action of any kind. But I like that one. I like it a lot. Tapping out of Caracas might be a mistake, but if they don't jam this turn and kill me with some Haste Legend, then this was awesome. Oh no, they have it again! Yeah, okay, whatever. Sure. Yep. Alright, yeah. If you beat a turn 1 show and tell, and then they just have a turn 3 show and tell again, yeah, whatever. Okay, cool. Maverick. My official opinion about this deck is that you're working way too hard. The lines are tricky. You get punished if you misstep. There's so many decisions to make, and you could just put Brainstorm in your deck. But obviously, we've chosen to play Maverick, and you get a lot of really cool lines. It's really rewarding when you win a situation that you feel like you shouldn't or shouldn't really be able to do. And deck building is really interesting too. Like I mentioned, there's no Raminep Excavator in this deck. You could play more Thalias, you could play more Endurance, you could play Bowmasters. Like basically any green card, any green creature is a viable option. And then if you have one Fiend Artisan, any other white or black creature also becomes an option. I fully understand and appreciate the puzzle that is Maverick deck building and play. And there are metagames where it's really good. Basically, the better Thalia is, the better Maverick is. The more fair the metagame is, or there's probably specific types of unfair that Maverick's really good against. But yeah, the Maverick diehards, the Doogs, the Kurtz, they're a breed of their own, and they're out here doing the good work, keeping Noble Hierarch and Knight of the Reliquary relevant in 2023 Legacy. And Knight of the Reliquary is still awesome. We got some blowouts. We bashed for 10 a couple times. Really cool stuff. Dark Confidant never triggered once in the league. Disappointed about that. Bowmasters was fine. It came up a few times. It was solid when it did. I don't have enough reps to really start nitpicking like 3, 4, or 5 mana dorks versus 22 or 23 lands, or like, you know, I'll leave that to the Maverick Discord. Hopefully this was fun for everyone to watch. It was fun for me to play. Green creatures still holding it down. Respect them. Kurt, thank you for sending this to me. Maverick community, keep doing your thing. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon and the sponsors, and I'll see you for the next one.